The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are pretenders, and as long as Baker Mayfield is their quarterback, they forever will be. Let's go.
On your mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Kevin Durant, you should have left California.
This Brownsexual upset me in having to bring this teenage idiot from Wisconsin into a sports conversation. Are you really surprised that the Cowboys are giving up on Ezekiel Elliott?
Whoa. Hell no. Well, no one cares about baseball.
Bitch, are you for real?
Oh, yeah. Time to roll from Indiana's capital city. Good morning. Welcome to the Tripped Out Takes Taco Tuesday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have you all with us as I come to you from Indianapolis, Indiana. And it won't be the last time that I will be in Indiana's capital city. Got some things to do today, but we got some sports to bring to y'all this morning. And to lend a hand, I have this guy.
Now, forgive me not knowing the brother. You got your mic black. I don't know who the hell you are. It's like you're in the broadcasting witness protection program.
The hardest working man in content creation is here with me this morning. Good morning, Playmaker. How are you, buddy?
Good morning.
You don't sound too pleased.
No, I'm not. But it is what it is.
Why are you
go ahead and get to the
Why are you not pleased this morning? What's going on?
Go ahead and get to the rip around. I'll be right back.
Okay. If the Playmaker's not pleased, we should all be afraid. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, he gave me an order, and I shall follow it. Here's the whip around for this Tuesday. Opposing coaches at that. Leave him alone. Please. Just, oh, dear Lord. Why do y'all want to do that? Why do you all insist insist on messing with Coach Sanders? Why? That's not fair and that's not fun. That's all right. I remember something Coach Deion said after Saturday's game. He said, "You better get me now because there's going to be I'm going to leave that alone." A playoff spot, and they are inching closer to the National League Central Division title, a team that I called early in the year that would win the Central Division title after routing the once proud Miami Marlins. Can we just contract the Marlins, please? Can we just contract the Miami Marlins and get it over with? Please. MVP status by entering the 40-40 club. Now, Ronald, get the Braves to November. And y'all know why I'm telling him to get the Braves to November. Year of his contract, and he is unconcerned. And he should be unconcerned because they're going to re-sign him to a longer contract because he brought 4 rings to the Bay Area. Is tired of the Jets and tired of Zach Wilson. What else is there? And Notre Dame has a new strategy to avoid what happened, a new plan, I should say, to avoid future game losing scenarios after Ohio State. Yeah, it's called put 11 men on the field. Idiots. That's a whip around presented by Fanatics.
All right. I may be in and out. I got some people working on my apartment.
Noise therein, huh?
No, more of a electricity problem.
Aha. That'll explain that. Yesterday was a Monday Night Football doubleheader. We'll review both games when you all get back.
Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kurt the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition, dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court. Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby!
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying. But this is also an option.
Wise El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Poppy J and Wise El Jefe. Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
My beautiful one, to answer your question, SNWMN Multimedia on Twitter and Snowman Multimedia in all of our other streaming media outlets and all of our social media. To the Feedback Zone, sponsored by Fanatics. What in the all types of blue hell, says Chris Bass, and I know another gentleman who's saying that this morning. We'll get to that in a little bit. Sick Diggy joins us from Norway. Victor joins us from Chicago. And a programming note, Ryan McCoffey says no credentials required, returns at 8 p.m. tonight. Join us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We also have a Rumble channel, and we need 2 more followers to be able to stream there. I will be one of them, and I'll make sure that I follow y'all on Rumble. And Mr. McCoffey, I will pick up your broadcast tonight and air it on Snowman Multimedia. So I will tap in to that tonight. All right. There was a doubleheader on Monday Night Football last night. We're going to begin in Cincinnati, where the Cincinnati Bengals beat the Los Angeles Rams by a count of 19-16 as Joe Burrow throws for 259 yards. And he didn't throw a touchdown, but he threw a pick. But the Bengals got the job done. I now turn the floor over to the Playmaker for his thoughts on last night's game. And I'm going to get out of the way. Give him the camera.
No, don't give me the camera.
You already got it. Go for it.
Because I'm saving it for Thursday. Because
give us a little piece.
Ram Nations, they are looking forward to Thursday now.
Well, give us a little piece of it.
But play calling. Play calling. They're just going. Mm-hmm.
So is that why you're truly not pleased this morning?
Freaking play calling.
That bad.
If I didn't watch it myself, I probably wouldn't know what happened. I probably would have came in here like, man, hey, we went into the jungle. Things didn't go our way, and we got beat by a field goal. But I actually watched it, so I actually know what went wrong.
You know what went wrong, huh?
I know exactly what went wrong.
How bad was the play calling?
Oh, by the fact that Cincinnati didn't even dominate the game? The fact that the Rams actually dominated the game? Does that answer your question?
Statistically, yes.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, play calling. Play calling.
I have a question. I have a question for you, and you can answer this question better than I. Who's the Rams running back? And I don't mean this sarcastically. I'm looking for that piece of the puzzle. Because you mentioned
Carry on
play.
Williams.
Okay.
Carry on Williams,
Why
our
didn't-
running back.
Why didn't they use him?
Play calling. Trust me, play calling. And to be honest with you, the Bengals
Yes.
fans agree when I posted. This should look like Seattle all over again. This game should have looked like Seattle.
Oh boy. Oh boy. That bad, huh?
So yeah, play calling. So y'all know who I'm going at when Thursday get here.
I would guess it would be your offensive coordinator
Mm-hmm.
because of the overuse of overuse of
his damn brain.
I'm sorry, overuse of what? I didn't hear that
His
correctly.
damn brain.
And the underuse of your running
Common
back.
sense.
Yeah, that too. That too. That's just bad. That's just bad. That y'all. Mm. That's just bad. Because I looked at this. I looked at the stats, and like you, I would have thought that it was a close game throughout. Didn't seem that way. Just did not seem that way at all. And y'all are on the road.
Yeah.
You thought there would be a sense of urgency playing on the road against a team that has struggled coming out of the gate, and there was no sense of urgency.
They struggled yesterday.
Yeah, they did.
They struggled yesterday.
Yeah, they did. They did. And that's bad. That's just bad. That they struggled that much against a wounded team.
They struggled, and Zach Taylor was saying here like, well, since they ain't applying no pressure, I guess I can be calm and just help us get through this. And that I have an injured
Which they
quarterback,
did.
but since nothing's really been pressured, I can just call the game. Call the game because eventually something's gonna break. Something's gonna break. We ain't put no pressure on them. Numerous opportunities to make this game dire straight for the Bengals, and we didn't take advantage of it.
No, you didn't. You didn't. Did it seem like the Rams were a step behind most of the night? I just want to know, did it seem like they were a step behind most of the night?
No.
No?
No.
Well, that was the sense that I got.
This is why I'm saying play calling.
Ah.
When you say a step behind,
Mm-hmm.
that's the Cowboys going in Arizona, and they just didn't have it for whatever reason.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yesterday, we had it. It was literally like, if you punch this in, oh boy. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm like, when I found out Joe Burrow was starting, I'm like, oh, Lord, please don't let this man get hurt. Please don't let this. Even though I'm a Rams fan, don't let this man get hurt. This man's already dealing with a calf injury. And we already know when somebody's dealing with a calf injury, something else can happen, and we don't want that to happen.
And we've seen it happen numerous times.
And I'm sitting here like, I'm like, boy, if they put this in the end zone, oh my gosh, it's going to put a lot of pressure on the Bengals. They never put it in the end zone.
They never put it in the end zone.
That's why they say you can't win games by kicking field goals.
Until the last, what they kicked 3 field goals last night, and it just seemed like no sense of urgency. Well, that's from my standpoint. Okay, you're Rams. You are our Rams insider, and you know much better than I. And looking at some of the play calling, and I just had the chance to take a look over here to my left at some of the play calls that were made. What was that?
And here's the thing. If you put the same game plan from the San Francisco 49er game, oh my God, the Bengals will be in trouble. The
They
Bengals
would be
will
in
be in
trouble.
trouble.
Because in the first half, y'all sliced us to pieces. With the short passing game, y'all sliced us to pieces. Why didn't they employ that? Why did they not employ that?
Like I said, play calling.
Which prompts, who is the Rams offensive coordinator?
Oh, that would be my head coach.
That would be Sean McVay.
That would be my head coach.
So he didn't employ the same plan.
He didn't even employ the same game plan against Seattle when we knew you couldn't run the ball, but you still ran it for 40 times.
So he didn't run the same game plan against either Seattle or Cincinnati that y'all ran against the 49ers.
No. And then when you looked at the stat line from the Seattle game, you were surprised like the score was. Wow.
Right.
They literally
ran the ball 40 times.
40 times? The Rams running the ball 40 times? Really? Play calling, man.
Wow.
Victor, I'm not picking on you today. I was showing the difference between the team. Your Cowboys, they were just they were just a step behind yesterday. They did. I don't know what was going on. I don't know. They were just slow, and they could never catch up.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't the Rams yesterday.
No,
the Rams didn't have to catch up. They were in control for damn near the entire game, even with the 2 interceptions. They were still in control because the Bengals offense. Granted, Jamar Chase, he got his, but it wasn't a big help.
Mm-hmm.
You got 12 catches for 140 something yards.
What did Nakua do? What did Nakua do?
Nakua, he had a sore part game for once.
Yeah, I dig that.
But it wasn't his doing.
True. It was a play. It goes back to what you said. It goes back to the play calling. It goes back to the play calling, or lack thereof. Or lack thereof.
I mean, the fact I'm sitting here saying 5 catches for 72 yards is a subpar game tells you what.
Tells you,
and that's a Ricky. And that's a Ricky we're talking about. Are you Ricky?
Mm-hmm. Man, oh man. I am so sorry. I made an assumption, and clearly I was wrong because I admittedly didn't watch the full game last night. I listened to parts of it. I was out working, and just to see, oh boy, I am so sorry. Man.
Snowman, trust me, you can go on social media right now and ask any other Rams fan that you know what happened last night, and they'll say, and they gonna tell you. You can be like, that's exactly what Playmaker said.
I believe it.
Like this is a different type of frustration right here.
Right. it's not the same kind of frustration from. It's not the same level of frustration from last week, is it not? Or is it?
No,
No. Okay. Okay.
no.
That part. That part.
That frustration is just like
Yeah. That part I can. That part I can tell that it's not the same frustration as what you went through last week. That part I can tell. It's. I'm going to echo Victor's phrase, and I want you to either confirm or deny it. They played down as they usually do to a weak team. Did you sense that last night? I know you said play calling was the main reason the Rams lost, but did you sense that last night?
no, because it is the Cincinnati Bengals,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody's like they can't lose this game because we know the whole 0-3 thing. But what most people say they lost their first 2 games of the season anyway, and then turned around and started running them up.
Right.
You couldn't. They playing Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is dealing with a calf injury.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like it is simple. You hit them and you make them play differently.
Mm-hmm.
The level of concern in Cincinnati rises because now
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
we have to first. Literally, Zach Taylor literally went to the game and said, "All right, you're going to play, you're going to start. This is what we're going to do to protect you. We're going to get the ball out your hands quickly,
Right.
okay?
Right.
Because we know they're not going to let Jamar Chase run down the field freely.
True. True. Very true.
So we're going to get the ball out your hands quickly. We're going to run the ball when we can,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to make sure that you is not running for your life."
Right. Right.
And you know what? The Rams offense played right into their hands.
Mm-hmm.
You're kicking field goals. When you kick field goals, Zach Taylor
Yeah.
can breathe a solid relief. It's like, okay, I don't have to force the issue with my quarterback. The game plan can still be the game plan.
Right. And they
Snowman,
play
the,
and the Rams
the Rams, the Rams was in the red zone 4 times.
4
Scored
times.
1
Mm-hmm.
touchdown.
I'm
Scored 1
looking up
touchdown.
I'm looking up the numbers right now. And that touchdown didn't come until late.
They had 11 third downs, converted 1.
Oh, wow. 1 for 11.
What made you gave you a cause to pause last week was the Rams was like, you saw the Rams and it's like, they
Yeah.
won't get off the field. They just won't
Right.
get off the field.
Mm-hmm.
3rd and 8, and 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 11. They won't get off the field.
Third downs killed him. Third downs
The
killed him.
complete opposite of what took place against San Francisco.
Because what y'all doing third down against us? Like what, 7 for 13?
Yeah.
Because we were
You
only
weren't
4
getting-
we were only 4 for 13. We were only 4 for 13 against you guys on third down.
That would give you cause pause. Like, well, maybe this Rams team is not going to be what I
Right.
thought they were going to be because, they wasn't trying to get off the field.
No, they weren't. They were not trying to get off the field.
And it had your defense like, man, this darn Booker Nicole can't get stopped. How does Matthew Stafford keep finding him?
Man,
And then next thing you know, we got Tutu Atwell going deep. And it's like, well,
Yep.
there you go.
We could not do anything against Nakua. Not a thing. Not a thing, man.
And y'all have the better defense.
Yep.
Cincinnati defense doesn't even come close to the 49ers defense.
Mm-hmm. And somehow the Cincinnati defense figured it out.
You know why? Because the play calling. Oh, so you just gonna do that all day? Okay, fellas, 10 years back, we're
Mhm.
going after them.
And they did. I'm looking at this now. They sent so many crazy blitzes after you guys last night. It's crazy. It's crazy. Well, that's Playmaker's take. He'll have more on Thursday on Ramley talk. So stick around. It's going to be it. Ooh, I can't wait for that episode.
It's not going to be fun.
No, I imagine it's not going to be fun.
It's not going to be fun. And then I got to turn around and head to the place where you at.
Indianapolis.
And find out if Anthony Richards is going to play or we're going to be dealing with Gardner Minshew.
Given the way the Colts played Sunday, I don't think it's going to matter. And I hate saying it that way. I don't think it's going to matter. I'm going to have Matt Taylor on this week to preview that game. But it just doesn't seem fair for your Rams. I'm sorry, it just doesn't seem fair. That what did you said 2 and you said your
I said 2 and 2, so 2 and 2. I said 2 and 2 through 4, and it looks like it's gonna be 2 and 2 through 4. Look like only thing I messed up was us winning at Seattle instead of winning at the Bengals.
Right. Well, the Colts. I will say this: if the Colts play the way they played Sunday, y'all might be 1-3. Scary to think about, especially when it comes to the Colts. But I saw something in Week 1 when it concerned. I saw something in Week 1 with the Colts against the Jaguars that gave me a reason to hope.
Yeah, I know, and that's why. Remember, I told you, what is Jacksonville doing? What are y'all doing?
Mm-hmm.
What is the defensive game plan here? And then you finally did it in the fourth quarter when it mattered, and you saw the result.
Yep. Well, I'll find out today if Richardson's going to play or not. I believe he is. But you gotta hand it to the Colts. A gutty win on Sunday. And then the Bengals with their game plan last night against
to the Bengals, because they were patient. And then
they were
shot when they was trying to take their shot.
Yep, they did. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll go over the Eagles. And I have some things to say about my hometown team, which is not my team, which is the Chicago Bears. Back in a minute.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. You kiss on the block. New edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying. But this is also an option.
Wise El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Poppy J and Wise El Jefe. Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Back. We'll go over the Eagles real quick against the Buccaneers, and I begin with a simple question. Are the Buccaneers contenders or pretenders? I say the latter.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Why
remember
not?
The Saints. Remember the Saints choked in Lambeau Field.
Well, who cares about that game? Who the hell cares?
All four teams lost in that division.
It's a tank division. I've said that since last year.
Somebody has to win that division.
No, they don't. They all go one. They all go 2-14 or 2-15, and nobody wins that division. There, problem solved.
You know damn well that's not how it works.
I know that's not how it works, but a guy can wish, can he?
If it's realistic, somebody got to win that division. And
But
for
why
the
does somebody have to-
the New Orleans Saints, Blue Ace, we talking about the New Orleans Saints having a 17-0 lead in the fourth quarter.
And the reason I'm to give a damn? And the reason I'm to give a damn?
We're talking about a defense. That is the reason why everybody's picking the Saints.
I didn't even make a pick. I don't care.
To win the division.
And
a 17. We ain't talking 17-point lead in this. We're not talking 17-point lead to begin the second half. We're talking 17-0 to begin the fourth quarter.
Repeating my question. And
the Saints defense don't blow leads in the fourth quarter like that. I don't know what that was Sunday.
Who cares? It's the freaking tank division. It's the NFC South. Who cares? Who bleeping cares?
No, you don't care.
It's the New Orleans Saints. Who bleeping cares? I mean, I've stopped caring about the Saints since Drew Brees hung them up. All right. The only reason I was a fan of the Saints was because of Drew Brees and Sean Payton and that team that they had. Look, when you're in a team with the Carolina Panthers, who are going to suck out loud for the next 20 years, when you're in a team with the I can't say it the way I want to say it because we are on over-the-air radio, but when you're in a team where the best team in that division ain't the New Orleans Saints, my God, who cares? Nobody wins that. I know this won't happen. I know for a fact this won't happen. I know someone's going to have to take control and win that division. I already know this, but I want total
and host a playoff game.
And host a playoff game. And host a playoff game, which makes things all the way worse.
So guess what? If the Saints do what they do, who gets to guess what? You got to go to the Superdome. And we know how crazy that place is.
Yeah, but they're not going to host a playoff game.
Only one team winning that division.
Yeah. And it ain't going to be New Orleans.
So that means that means you putting it on Baker. Oh Lord, Baker Mayfield going to
hell to the no. I'm not putting it on Baker.
You damn sure ain't putting on the Panthers or the Falcons.
I'm putting it on Desmond Ridder. I said it. I will chance it. I don't trust the New Orleans Saints. I don't. Matter of fact, let me be totally real.
You don't trust nobody in that division.
Exactly right. I trust nobody in that cotton picking division. I don't trust the Falcons. I certainly don't trust the Panthers. The Buccaneers are frauds. And after what happened Sunday in Lambeau Field, the New Orleans Saints are frauds until I'm shown different. That entire NFC South division is a bunch of frauds. Period. They're a bunch of frauds.
No Aaron Jones, no Christian Watson, no Davey Bakhtiari, and two more other players.
And you know something? I'm going to go ahead and say this from my buddy Trey Larkins. The Green Bay Packers are a bunch of frauds. The Packers are a bunch of frauds. The whole doggone NFC South are a bunch of frauds.
Indulge me for this real quick, on all seriousness. When you saw the Saints up 17-0, and you was like, "Yep, that's what happens when you're missing like 3 great players right about now."
I'll indulge you by saying this. A, I didn't watch the game. B, I didn't give 2/5 of a half of a damn about the game because I was paying attention to my Indianapolis Colts. And C, my answer remains. I don't give 2/5 of a half of a damn. Whatever happens to the Saints happens to the Saints. Whatever happens to the Packers happens to the Packers. They're a bunch of frauds. Period. End of story. I don't care.
And speaking of which, Green Bay might win the division and host a playoff game.
That's a lie. That is
Who-
an
who-
absolute. That
who gonna
is
stop them?
The Detroit Lions. Dag nabbit.
The Detroit Lions looking like the Detroit Lions that we used to know.
You're not paying attention. The Lions will win that. The Lions will win the NFC Central for the first time since 1991.
If they go back looking like they did last year, but right now they finding ways to be in close games, which they shouldn't even be in close games against.
So are the Packers, so are the Saints, so are the Panthers, so are the Falcons, and so are the Tampa Bay Blankeneers. Next question.
So guess what? When you in a lot of one-score games, guess what that means? It can go either way.
When you're in a lot of one-score games, it means you're a doggone fraud. I'm full of caffeine, so I'm tripping today. I know.
So yeah, so you say that again and send it to Detroit so they understand. You keep playing with fire, you're gonna get
I'll
burnt.
be happy to. I'll be happy to. I'll send that to quite a few teams. But the New Orleans Saints and the Green Bay Packers to lead my list of frauds. I'll feature that tomorrow. They're a bunch of frauds. I trust nobody. Listen. I will say it again. I trust nobody in the NFC South division. Matter of fact, let me say that. Let me say this correctly. Where is that? Where is that soundbite? Where is that? Where is that thing? I can't find. Oh yeah, I can find it. Here it is. Who do I trust in the NFC South to win that division? A half of a damn about in that division. Who actually gives on a whole scale 2/5 of a half of a quarter of a damn about anybody? Falcons, Buccaneers, Saints, who else? Or Panthers. Who cares about that division? That should answer your question. It's the tank division. Okay? Every game in that division is a doggone tank bowl. Period. Every doggone.
Every tank making the playoffs.
Tell that to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year when they got a foot put in their ass. Tell that to
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by. The host needs to collect himself for a moment or two. Please stand by. The host simply can't believe how people can be such dolts and idiots. Please stand by. We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming, already in progress.
I didn't push that button.
I know. He can't join us, but he can still push button, which is amazing.
Oh, he'll join us. Now, I'm supposed to do something, and it concerns a team in my hometown. Do I care about the team in my hometown? No, but I got quite a few.
Hold on. Like, how many weeks we gonna keep doing this with the same team in that darn city?
until they get the bleeping message. Let's go. And I have to keep it to a low roar because the manager came out and told me to tone it down a little bit because I was getting amped up. Now, give me this camera. And I'll make this a double play. Chicago Bears, you need a few of these. First of all, your defensive coordinator resigned because of some illegal activity that he's in the middle of. Do we know all the facts yet? No. But I am going to say this. That should tell you how toxic of a culture you have. Hell, let me be real. You got that toxic culture has existed since 1986. And it has not changed, and it will not change until certain people are gone. When I mean gone, I mean out of control. I mean the reins of control has been released by a certain person with a certain last name of McCaskey. That's the first thing. That's the first in the set of reality checks. Who in the Vita Blue, yellow-bellied, red-blooded hell is Matt Eberflus? Matter of fact, let me put it another way. What the hell is a Matt Eberflus? I don't know, and I don't care. Matt Eberflus is a puppet, just like Ryan Poles is a puppet. And the reason these puppets are in place is because someone put them there to make it look like the Chicago Bears are a competent team, and they're about as incompetent as a couple of people I've had to deal with recently who don't know a doggone thing about a football game, a football team, or running a business. I will not release any names, but they know who I'm talking to. Next one. Offensive coordinator. I just need to know that because Playmaker said it so expertly when it came to the Rams. Who is the Bears? It's the play calling has sucked when it comes to the Chicago Bears. And the play calling has sucked for a long, long, long time. As I mentioned at the top of the week, the Bears are the only team in the NFL without a 4,000-yard passer.
Well, we know that
Let
ain't
that
happening
sink
this
in.
season.
Let that sink in. Let that sink in and make that make sense. The Chicago Bears, one of the original franchises that recently celebrated its 100th anniversary, are the only franchise in the NFL minus a 4,000-yard passer. And it certainly will not be Justin Fields the way he's running for his life. He holds on to the ball too long. And while I'm talking about Justin Fields, here's my next reality check. Fields, you are not ready to be a number one quarterback at all. I mean, you got the athletic talent, but you don't have the skills to play the position. You hold on to the ball too long. You take off at the first sign of pressure, which is what you're supposed to do. But I put this on the fault of the Bears for not putting offensive linemen in front of him and instead having 300-pound mannequins act as turnstiles. Your delivery is skittish. Your footwork is skittish. Your reading of defenses is definitely skittish. I offer the case against the Kansas City Chiefs, the haves and the have-nots. The Chiefs have their franchise quarterback and will have him for the next, 10, 12 years. What the hell do the Bears have? Not a doggone thing.
They got attention.
That doesn't count. That does not count. So Justin Fields, learn to play the quarterback position, or you're going to go to another team that's going to try to teach you the quarterback position, and it will be far too late. Matter of fact, it's far too late now. Next one. doggone stupid Chicago Bears to let your multiple-time 1,000-yard rusher walk? And it's not the first one you've let walk. Matt Forte, anyone? Neil Anderson, anyone? Hell, Walter Payton walked away and retired because the deterioration began then. Walter Payton played 13 seasons in the NFL, his last being 1987, and he scored a touchdown in his last season as a running back. It came against the Seattle Seahawks. You know, the one thing that I don't like that's not next to Walter Payton's name, a Super Bowl touchdown. That went to William the Refrigerator Perry. But since that year, this entire organization has made one mistake after another, after another, after another, after another. And to think they drafted an offensive lineman on draft night. What have they done with him? Not a doggone thing. What else have they done to fix the offensive and defensive line, which are both sieves right now? Not a doggone thing.
I can tell you what they did do.
I just answered it. Not a doggone thing.
I can tell you what they did do, and it helps, and they helped the NFL out.
You don't have to. I've had enough of Justin Fields. Next one. You know, there's this curious case of a place called Soldier Field that looks like a rocket ship or a spaceship. I was recently in it to call the Chicago Football Classic, and that's a Patreon video that I will release at the top of October.
I thought you were going to say blank space, but go ahead.
No, I'm filling in the blanks when I do that. If you were going to remake Soldier Field, couldn't you have done a better job than what you did? I mean, Soldier Field is the only football stadium in the NFL, I believe this to be true, that is not owned by the team. It's owned by the Chicago Park District. And I lived in Chicago for over 30 years. And we know what kind of a bang-up job the Chicago Park District does with some of their places. Stupid. Absolutely stupid. So to summarize and close this thing out, the Chicago Bears are a bunch of idiots. They let players walk, and they
Idiots
go
are
on.
idiots.
They let players walk, and they go on to do better in other places. Save David Montgomery because he's injured right now. They had a dynasty in their hands in 1985, and they blew it up. They blew it up. The first one to walk from that team was a linebacker by the name of Wilbur Marshall, one of the hearts and souls of that team. Why'd you let him go? And since then, the Chicago Bears have done nothing but CTD, circle the drain. And until the McCaskies are out of charge, they will never change. They will never get better. They would never want to get better, desire to get better, or have the gumption or the balls to get better. Period. That's Snowman's take. What's yours? You're welcome.
Now, I would like to give some thanks to the Chicago Bears.
For?
Thanks to you, then your blank space of a team that you have in Kansas City, we got to see a gorgeous outing for the Kansas City Chiefs, where we had a certain superstar in the booth screaming her butt off, saying "Let's effing go" when Travis Kelce caught a touchdown pass that put the Chiefs up 40.
Bitch.
So now we have Taylor Swift fans watching football now. Good job, Chicago.
Bitch, please.
You helped the NFL gain more fans.
Bitch.
There's my response to that.
I'm getting too old for this.
One. Wait, I'm not done. I got some more. I got some more.
Oh, you thought I was gonna bring Taylor Swift into this?
Not yet. Not yet. Double play. Round 2. Fight. So many people were ballyhooing about Justin Fields. Oh my God, we got the quarterback of the future. You said the same thing about Rex Grossman. You said the same thing about Mike Tomczak. You said the same thing about Jim Harbaugh. Hell, you said the same thing about Jay Cutler, a quarterback that you traded for who sucked all kinds of ass, and yet Jay Cutler, that Jay Cutler, who can't make a correct decision to save his life, is the all-time leading passer in terms of yards for the Chicago Bears. What is
cocaine's a hell of a drug?
What does that tell you about your selection of quarterbacks? Huh? What does that tell you? Y'all haven't had a decent quarterback since Jim McMahon. And he was so oft injured because sometimes that offensive line was a sieve until they actually solidified it after getting a foot put in their rear end in 1984 in Candlestick Park. Because remember, the Bears weren't even supposed to beat the Washington Redskins, beat them 23-19, and then they surrendered 23 the next week in Candlestick Park and got shut out in the process 23-0. Next one. Stay on Jim McMahon, shall we? 5 years later, 1989 or 1988, 4 years later. Jim McMahon wasn't even supposed to start the NFC Championship game against the 49ers, and everybody was picking the Bears to win that game because it was hosted at Soldier Field. The moment you knew that game was over was when Joe Montana, the greatest quarterback of all time, threw an out route against the wind to Jerry Rice, who broke it for 61 yards. That made the score 7-0, and the Bears lost that game 28-3. 3. Next one. Let's go to 2010. The Bears backdoored their way into the NFC North Division title. They had a chance to put the Packers out of their misery. They had a chance to put Aaron Rodgers out of their misery. And what happened? You guessed it. They let Aaron Rodgers get away and complete the only and Aaron Rodgers threw the only touchdown. And Aaron Rodgers threw the only touchdown of the game. They won that game January 2nd by a count of 10-3, which got the Packers into the playoffs. They beat Atlanta. They beat in order Philadelphia. They rounded Atlanta, and then that led to the NFC Championship at Soldier Field in Chicago. What did they let an injured Aaron Rodgers do? Walk right down the field in 7 plays and stick it in the end zone. And I walked out of the place where I was at because I said, game over. And since that day, the Bears have lost their nerve, they've lost their nuts, and they lost their will in that game. And they haven't gotten it back yet. When you let an injured Aaron Rodgers and a team like the Packers, who were missing a couple of people, walk right down the field on your turf on the opening drive of the NFC Championship, the first time those two ever played for the NFC Championship at Soldier Field, mind you, and you let them walk down the field and stick it right down your throat without any kind of pressure, without any kind of difficulty, without any kind of a reason for them to change their game plan, you deserve everything that you get. You fool! Give me this, give me this, give me this, give me this, give me this camera. Yes, LeBron, it is you. It's always been you. It always will be you. Forever and ever. Amen.
I think I'm about to make it worse.
I'll finish with this. I've had my mother ask me for years, God rest her soul, and I miss you, Mom. I've had my mother ask me for years, how can you live in Chicago and not be a fan of the Chicago Bears? It's pretty simple. Joe Montana, an actual quarterback who learned the game, played the game, studied the game, and did everything correctly to bring his team to 4 Super Bowls. 2 of those NFC championships came at the expense of the Chicago freaking Bears. 1984 in Candlestick Park, 1988 in Soldier Field. Both times, Joe Montana socked them in the mouth and kicked them in the nuts, and they have not done a doggone thing since. And never will until they get the right people in charge. My buddy David Kaplan, who was a radio legend in Chicago, said it best. Get some football people in there. Fix that doggone thing. I'm done.
Chicago Bears, I want to thank you again. Thanks to your ineptitudes.
Quiet. Hour 2 after this. Oh, and thank you, Playmaker, for using the correct word. Ineptitude.
Oh, I wasn't done, though. A certain jersey has been sold nearly 400% more after that game.
Hey,
Who
Eagles
cares?
fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets. Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kurt the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts. is a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe.
Boston.
This has been a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe. Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze car.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can be the black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
I'm going to get yelled at by so many Bears fans, but I don't care. 11:07 is your time. Snowman in the Morning, hour number 2, presented by BetUS.com as well as Invader Coffee. And this morning it's powered by Starbucks as I come to you live from Indianapolis, Indiana. Got some things to take care of here. Now, I've done some cooking. Now it's time for the Playmaker to do his thing as he'll break down a couple of college football games. And I'm not going to say a thing. I'm not going to do anything. I am just going to do this. Say, Playmaker, the floor is yours.
Where should I begin? Should I go in chronological order, or should I go in order of least to most hated right now?
Who cares?
You know what? Let me get this out the way. Lane Kiffin. How many times you gonna open your mouth? And how many times is Nick Saban gonna shut it? You called out Alabama's defense from how they played against South Florida, which is a 17-3 type of game, and you said what you said. And then on top of that, Nick Saban don't know who to play at quarterback. This was a prime opportunity for you to finally beat Nick Saban. This is the one thing you really want to do more than anything else right about now. And what happened in Tuscaloosa, Alabama? Let me ask that again. What happened Saturday afternoon in Tuscaloosa, Alabama? Now, I know Snowman said he didn't want to say nothing, but if Snowman can indulge me here. Ole Miss put up 48 against Georgia Tech. 37 against Tulane when it was a ranked versus ranked matchup. 73 against Mercer. You know how many points they scored against Alabama? They scored 10 points. The second team in the nation at points per game scored 10.
Stop the cap.
24-10.
I'm sorry, how many points?
10.
Stop the cap.
You can count on your fingers how many points they scored.
I'm sorry.
Stop
How
the
many?
cap.
You can literally count on both fingers how many points Ole Miss scored Saturday. Every time you open your freaking mouth ahead of a Nick Saban game, you get your ass shut. Nick Saban don't know who to play a quarterback. He tried 2 quarterbacks against South Florida and only won 17-3. Jalen Merrill, he wasn't looking good against Texas. That's how they got whooped by 10 by Texas. In the same building, by the way. You come on in there with averaging 58 points a game to 10. 10!
58 points a game? Says who?
58. They averaged 58 points a game going to the Alabama game.
Since when?
Because they dropped 48 against Georgia Tech. They dropped 37 against Tulane. And they put up 73 against Mercer.
And they got held to how many?
10.
Shut up, bitch.
How appropriate. Let me see. Lane Kiffin, get what you need to do.
Shut up, bitch.
Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing else ever. No, don't even talk.
I'm sorry, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. What'd you say to Lane Kiffin?
Shut up, bitch.
Every time you open your mouth ahead of a Nick Saban game, you get your ass whooped. This was the best opportunity you had. The best opportunity you had. Because in all the other games you had to face against Nick Saban, he had a quarterback he knew he can trust and go with. This year, he don't know who to go with. He didn't like we seen at South Florida, so he went back to Jalen Merrill. And I'm saying him like, well, Lane Kiffin, you going to open your mouth. This is your best opportunity. You ain't going to get no better opportunity than this right here because Nick Saban usually don't have questions at quarterback.
Bitch, please.
And what did you do? You took your high-powered offense into Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and got 1 touchdown and a field goal. Boy, I tell you, Lane Kiffin, you is just terrible.
Shut up, bitch.
Now let me go. Let's go from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. We're gonna travel up north. We're gonna travel to somewhere close to where Snowman is at, and we're gonna go to South Bend, Indiana. Now you probably asking why South Bend, Indiana? Because
Notre Dame.
Marcus Freeman.
Notre Dame messed up.
Marcus Freeman.
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no.
Everybody was behind you. You finally got you a quarterback in Sam Hartman.
Sam Howell.
Ohio,
Sorry.
and Ohio State looks very vulnerable at this moment in time. It took them to game 3 to finally look like the Ohio State team that people are used to seeing. They going to South Bend. And it's like, okay, we see what's going on. And then you decided to wear all green for the first time ever. All green.
And then
and you had a team that took the lead with 8 minutes to go with a defense who was continuously stopping Ohio State. And somehow, some way, when it came to the last drive, not 1, not 2, but 3 fourth down conversions. We ain't talking fourth and we're not talking 4th and 1. We're not talking 4th and 3. We're talking 4th and 10. We're talking 4th and 8. We're talking 4th and 16.
And they converted them all.
Stop the cap.
And then the final 2 plays of the game, your defense had 10 players on the field. I thought you were supposed to have 11 players on the field.
Bitch, are you for real?
Am I wrong for thinking you're supposed to have 11 players on the field?
That's what I was told.
But the final 2 plays, you had 10 guys on the field.
Bitch, are you for real?
And it's like, really? You had a golden opportunity for a signature win in your short tenure at Notre Dame. A golden opportunity. And you blew it. Because your defense, for whatever reason, forgot how to defend the pass on 4th downs.
Bitch, are you for real?
Like, and the crazy part is, Ohio State was gifting you the game because they put themselves in that position.
You for real?
False start, holding. I'm like, well, okay, y'all just need one stop. And it's not like everything's open. They have to pass the ball because they got to get 10 yards. They got to get 15 yards. And they got them every time.
Gotta love it.
So, guess what? Notre Dame, your playoff hopes are done. You have nobody else on your schedule that's going to boost this schedule for you. There's nobody else. There's none.
Bitch, please.
Complete.
Well, I take that back. You got game day going to where you at this week. This is 2 weeks in a row. How lucky.
How?
They playing Duke. The first time ever game is going to be in Durham, North Carolina.
Again. And
then probably by then USC probably be ready to smack you by 50.
No comment.
You had a golden opportunity. Golden opportunity in your hands. In your hands. In your hands. And you folded under pressure.
Bitch, are you for real?
But that's not the most egregious one of the losses from Saturday.
Yes, it is.
Let's leave South Bend, Alabama, shall we? Let's go down to Death Valley. And no, I'm not talking LSU Death Valley. I'm talking Clemson Death Valley.
I'm going to go get a drink.
Dabble, dabble, dabble. If I didn't see the game myself, just like I watched my Ramsey last night, I would have had different feelings right now. But I actually watched the game. And everything that I watched in that game told me Clemson is finna win this game. Florida State offense is struggling. That defense was looking like Clemson. The offense wasn't Clemson type of offense, but they was doing enough to apply pressure on Florida State. It's late in the third quarter. And I mean late in the third quarter. Clemson is driving down the field. They is about to punch Florida State lights out. And we're going to be around here saying, whoop, Florida State ain't back yet. That's what everybody wanted. They still can't beat that team in the ACC.
And then...
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no.
And then here comes an unblocked man to Caleb Cutnett. The man who actually hit him picks it up and takes it all the way back. And all of a sudden, we go from a potentially 14-point game to a tie game. Let me give it to you again in a different way.
You fool!
It's less than a minute left in the third quarter. Clemson is driving the ball. They are past midfield. They are at the 44-yard line of Florida State. Cutler gets the snap. Kalen DeRoche comes on block. Blasts his Cutler Kate. Picks up the loose ball. Takes it 56 yards back. And Florida State is on the board. Florida State is an extra point away from tying this game at 24.
Bitch, are you for real?
Right before the fourth quarter. And then nobody can do anything in the fourth quarter until Clemson gets the ball late in the game. With about 4 seconds left, we send a field goal kicker out, and I can't remember what. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find it. Looks like someone like to say live research, people. Let me go to the fourth quarter. Will Shipley gets the ball to the Florida State 48-yard line, a first down with 6 seconds to go. We send the field goal kicker out there, and it's a straight kick. All you gotta do is kick it straight. That's it. It's right in the middle of the field, right in the middle.
Right between the hash marks.
And it goes to the right.
Wide right.
No good. We go into
overtime.
All you had to do was kick it straight. Just kick it straight. He had to curve it. Let's kick it straight. And he still missed it. Overtime comes. And Florida State wins the coin toss. They do what most teams do. Clemson wins the coin toss. Take that back. Clemson wins the toss. They do what most teams do. So we'll go on defense first, okay? We want to see what we need. All right. And, in 2 plays, Florida State scores. 2 plays. Right over top to Keon Coleman, the transfer from Michigan State. That says a lot about Michigan State.
Stop the cap.
All right. We need a touchdown. We need a touchdown, Dabo. You can do it. It's Clemson. You're at home. You need a touchdown. First down. K. Cupnip. Incomplete pass to Will Shipley. Second down. Will Shipley, 9-yard run, 3rd and 1. K. Cupnip passes to Adam Randolph, no gain, 4th and 1. K. Cupnip, incomplete pass, game over.
One.
Yeah, say that again.
On a 4th and 1. Fourth and 1.
What's that question that you like to ask when Cole's on here when it comes to football?
Why are teams allergic to running the football? You fool!
Real shit, Liddy got you 9 yards on the second down carry. 9 yards. There's no time limit in overtime in college football.
Bitch, are you for real?
You get 4 downs to match the team. That's it. And if you get the 10 yards you're supposed to get, you get another set of downs. There's no time limit.
You for real?
Snowman, what's been my theme for the day? And it's been 2 words the whole time.
Bitch, please.
Like, Snowman, what's been my favorite 2 words today?
Bitch,
Play
please.
calling.
Say that again. What's been my favorite 2 words today?
Bitch, please.
Play.
Freaking play calling, man. Play calling. Oh my freaking goodness. The play calling.
Bitch, please.
And last night doesn't make sense to me. You know, now I have to man up, which I did already. I have to man up, but when Brand Down the Gridiron comes on, I have to man. And by the way, I'm finna be live tomorrow.
Uh-oh.
Because it's gonna make it even worse.
Stop the cap.
I'm going live tomorrow night for Brand Down the Gridiron, and I have to say the words that I don't want to say.
And they are?
Because Florida State beat Clemson.
Stop the cap.
It's unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. And Florida State fans, they are waiting for tomorrow because they know what I got to do. And they are rejoicing, knowing that I have to do what I got to do.
What?
Florida State fans are celebrating.
What?
They are having a party.
What?
They are jubilating.
What?
Ecstatic.
What?
Full of joy.
What?
What?
But you know what? That's tomorrow. I'm going to end this part of the hot seat right here. Because to end the show, I got a couple more people I need to get at before we close up shop today. So. Oh, and by the way, you know what, I can give you this note, man. You know how bad it is the loss for Clemson to Florida State is?
How bad is it?
I picked Clemson to win the ACC.
Why did you do that?
And they already lost to Duke and Florida State.
Why the you lying? Why you always lying?
So I already lost one conference pick already.
That's right. Let it all out, Playmaker. Let it all out.
Man, I tell you.
Get that toxins out of you, Playmaker.
Man. I'm going to 8 tomorrow and Thursday. I really am.
Let it
I'm
out.
going to really hate tomorrow and Thursday. But I am a man of professionalism and I am a man of my word. So I will do what must be done for the next 2 days. But, that's it. Because when I do my next one, I'm doing something I have never done before. I'm flaming a winner.
You are what?
I am flaming a winner. Next.
Not so fast. I have a few more things to get off my chest to some people. A break, and then I'll come back with a very unlikely NFL MVP candidate after this.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pistol 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby!
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying, but this is also an option.
Wise El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Poppy J and Wise El Jefe. Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Double Victory Tuesday as I come to you live from Indianapolis, Indiana. And let's see. Let's see. We got that. Oh, yeah. There's a very, very, very unlikely MVP candidate that no one will say aloud except me in this edition of Snowman's Take. All right. So I had a fight with a friend of mine, and I mean that very playfully. So I had a fight with a friend who made as can't believe I'm going to do this, but I need to admit to something aloud, and I'm going to hate myself for doing this. So, where is it? Where'd it go? What? I think I just passed it. Oh, find it later. Here it is. As I was perusing social media, and I know Wise, I shouldn't do that.
I told you about that.
There was, I was perusing social media. My friend Clarence, who's a big-time Bengals fan, made a statement some time ago about the best quarterbacks in the league. He mentioned Joe Burrow. He mentioned Josh Allen. He mentioned a couple of others. And I politely jumped on that post and I said, and none of them are doing anything spectacular. This fool, and I mean this playfully, Clarence, decided to say they're doing better than whatever quarterback you're following. No, they are not. And I'm going to say something aloud right now, even though it's only heading into week 4. There's a quarterback's name y'all need to put some respect on. And there's a quarterback's name that, at least for now, and I'll put that caveat in there, that needs to be mentioned. And his name is Brock Purdy. Why, you ask? Because so far, he has thrown for 736 yards. He only has 1 turnover this season. He has not thrown an interception. And he's won every start this year and his last 5 starts last year. The only start where he didn't win is the one where he got injured against the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because no one, and the Snowman means no one, will mention this guy's name in the MVP conversation. See, everybody wants the flash. Everybody wants the numbers. Everybody wants everything else except the most basic form, the most basic duty of a quarterback, which is to get your team in position to win games. I'll say it again. As a quarterback, you get your team in position to win games. And so far, the 49ers are 3-0 this year. They've won 13 consecutive regular season games. And y'all already know how I feel about Kyle Shanahan because I already went off on that earlier this year. Because since Brock Purdy has taken over as quarterback of the 49ers, he has been the man. Period. 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions last year, in only 5 starts, mind you. He didn't have a 300-yard game until the playoffs against Seattle when he lit up the Seahawks for 317 yards. This year, he already has a 300-yard game to his credit. And it came last Thursday night against the New York Football Giants. Now, I said throughout my live stream that night that statistically, Brock Purdy was not off to a good start, and he was not. At one point, he was 4 for 10 in that game. But you cannot deny this. He made all the plays that he needed to. All of them. And the 49ers routed the Giants 30-12. Sorry, Wise. So why is no one putting Brock Purdy in the MVP conversation? Well, I'll give you a few reasons for that. Number one, because according to a lot of people still, he's Mr. Irrelevant. Number two, he doesn't have the flashy numbers that a quarterback in this day and age is supposed to have. And number three, he plays a boring brand of football. Yet, this year, and going back to last, The 49ers are averaging 32.5 points per game. Let me say that again. Since Brock Purdy has taken over as quarterback of the 49ers, the Niners have averaged 32.5 points per game. 32. Now, who says he can't make that offense sing? Who says that he is not the quarterback of the future? And I remember when the arguments were, I actually had people say to me that Purdy was nothing but a placeholder for Trey Lance. Well, riddle me this, Batman. Where is Trey Lance now? Gone. Long gone. And good riddance. Good freaking riddance. Trey Lance needed to be gone. Long gone. Peace out. Adios. He needed to be adiosed out of here. Stupid fool. And I blame the 49ers for taking on Trey Lance. But I give the 49ers credit for figuring it out and jettisoning him out of here. And trusting Brock Purdy with this offense. You had no choice but to trust Brock Purdy after Jimmy G got injured, after Trey Lance got injured. So it came down to a simple, let's see what the kid can do. Well, the kid can do a lot. He is mobile. He has a strong arm. He can get the ball to his receivers, and has. He can run when he chooses to. And the best part about all of this is that he's still learning the game. He's still learning the game. Haven't you figured it out by now that Brock Purdy is going to do nothing but get better? Oh, and one of the best parts about this thing, Nick Bosa got paid, Deebo Samuel got paid, and in about 3.5 years, after we win a couple of more Super Bowls and set the record with number 7, we don't have to worry about paying Brock Purdy until then, because he'll be at the tail end of his rookie deal. But I have the feeling that John Lynch and company will take care of MV Purdy way before, way before they need to take care of him. As I mentioned, Bosa's in the fold for the next 5 years. Deebo's in the fold for the next 3 years. Brandon Ayuk's going to get an extension. Christian McCaffrey is in the fold for the next 3 years. So all the major stars already got paid. Oh, and oh, by the way, because of the restructuring of contracts from Kittle to Bosa to a couple of others, the 49ers now possess the most cap room to the tune of $43 million. Now, what they do with that cap room, we won't know. But I guarantee you this, it's going to keep them competitive for a long time. Salute to you, Brock Purdy. Nothing like a chai latte to celebrate. Now then, with playmakers on both sides of the ball, the question was posed to me, and my beautiful wife posed it. How competitive can this 49er team be, and not just this year? Well, honey, that is a wonderful question, of which I have a very wonderful answer. They're going to be competitive for quite a long time. Long time. And you know the best part? They're only going to get better. They're only going to get better. Because you know they're going to draft some diamonds in the rough. They already got the skill positions taken care of. The only thing they need to take care of, the only thing they really need to take care of is their offensive line. And they're going to do that this year. They're going to do that this year. They're going to figure it out just like they did last year and continue to keep Brock Purdy upright. And he's only been sacked a total of 5 times this year. And 3 of them came in the opening game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. This offensive line will figure it out. They have playmakers on both sides of the ball. The offensive line is the only area of concern for me on offense. But 3 games in, 3-0, and the line's getting better, I'll take that. Oh, and the sack they allowed against the Giants didn't lose any yards. Although they technically did call it a sack. So rid of me this, NFL fan, and I take Playmaker out of the equation because he actually knows his stuff. I take Cole Johnson out of the equation because he actually knows his stuff. And I plan to discuss this tomorrow on That 49ers Show. And Mike Debate's going to join me. One of my buddies who hosts at a YouTube channel called Top Line Sports, go check it out if you haven't had the opportunity, asked a very simple question after the beatdown the Seattle Seahawks got. And I will use his voice to the best of my ability. It goes like this. Who beating them? I know it's early in the season and there are still a lot of questions to be answered when it comes to the 49ers. I understand that. I know that. I am such a perfectionist when it comes to my teams and when it comes to when it comes to my craft. And they think the same way. Although, if you're the 49ers, you're going to be sticking your chest out right now. And since it's Victory Tuesday, just a minute. I better not. And since it's Victory Tuesday, I'll do it this way. Not only do I have a shirt of the Indianapolis Colts, I also have the shirt of my beloved San Francisco 49ers. Here, get a look. And my beloved Jody got me this shirt as part of my 49er Christmas last year because there's a hat with it, and I'll wear it later this week. The 2 best teams in the NFC, one is in South Philly, the other is in the Bay. And if y'all are not careful, the 49ers could become the second team in NFL history to win 16 games in a season. You know who the other one is. But 16 regular season wins don't mean a damn thing without that ring. And that is the ultimate goal for my beloved San Francisco 49ers. The quest for 6 continues. And right now, they're off to a damn good start. We can't look past Arizona, and we certainly cannot look past the Cowboys. Those are the next 2 opponents. So to Brock Purdy, John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, and the rest of my beloved 49ers, keep on doing what you're doing. And who knows? There may be an MVP as well as a repeat Defensive Player of the Year. You never know, but we got a long way to go. Eyes on the prize, folks. Eyes on the prize, guys. Arizona is next Sunday afternoon. But put some respect on Brock Purdy's name.
No.
Shut up.
Are you done yet?
Shut up. As I said, put some respect on Brock Purdy's name because he deserves it. We only got a few minutes left, so I better stop here. That's Snowman Steak. What's yours? Now I'm done.
Take you long enough.
Why are you growling still? I already know the answer. I just had to tease you.
Man, that was a video that was supposed to be ready for me, but I didn't get no response on that video. So
I didn't get it.
Not you.
Oh, sorry. All right, Playmaker, the floor is yours to finish it off today.
Man, I want that video cut.
He's not here.
You know, he told me when he sent me everything that he was going to have it ready for me, even though he wasn't going to appear on the screen.
Well, he not here.
He couldn't pull it up. He just hit me back. So.
Oh, doggone it! I was looking forward to it too.
Go ahead and play my favorite segment.
Before I do, I have to play this. So, what do you want me to play again?
No, I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it.
I got to turn something off. Hold on a minute. I forgot about that. Sorry. Hey, Cole McCain, this one's for you. Now it's your turn.
All right. So I want y'all to listen to this. Once I get done playing this, Snowman's going to play the hot seat because that's who I'm going to play.
Oh, boy.
So, but, you know, this is what I'm going to do.
Rooted in substance, not flash. Rooted in substance. Today, we talk with our pads. You talk with your helmet, right? Every moment. The Cinderella story is over, man. Right? They're fighting for clicks. We're fighting for wins. There's a difference, right? There's a difference, right? This game ain't going to be played in Hollywood. It's going to be played on the grass, right? It's going to be played on the grass. Let's go.
Hit it, Snowman. So, Dan Lanning. Oh yeah, you like what I'm doing? You know, the green and black, like the Oregon Ducks. You like that? Here's the thing. They playing for clicks, we playing for wins. Is that what you said, right?
Uh-huh.
What did you win in the last 2 seasons? I don't hear nothing. Oh, that's because you didn't win nothing in the last 2 seasons. You know why? Because 2 years ago, you got your ass whooped by Utah twice. Last year, when you had a chance to get a payback against Utah, you screwed that up because what's the place that Oregon plays at, Snowman?
Autzen Stadium.
Oh, at Autzen Stadium, the Washington Huskies walked in there and beat you.
And well,
when you had a 4-point lead going into the fourth quarter.
Had.
And then to cap off that season, you messed around and you lost the what once was known as the Civil War, but now it's known as the Oregon Classic.
Nah, it's a Civil War.
But you wanted to make it personal, right? This game is not played in Hollywood; it's played on grass, rooted in substance, right?
Yeah.
We talked through our past, right? What you did to a tune of 42-6 over Colorado. Yet again, how many games was Colorado run last year?
1.
So why does everybody feel threatened by Colorado?
I don't know.
Why does everybody feel threatened by Colorado? You know
I don't know.
why? Because there's a guy by the name of Deion Sanders who's coaching that team.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, y'all hate me because Master P showed up to a Colorado game. You have Offset at a Colorado game. Pat McAfee, College Game Day, Big Noon Kid, Kyle Rock, Gronkowski, Lil Wayne. Oh, and by the way, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Who?
All supporting Deion Sanders. Now, mind you, has Deion come out and said anything against any other team?
No.
Has Deion come out and said anything about a player?
No.
Has Deion come out and said anything about a coach?
No.
So why does everybody want to go for Colorado, a team who won one game last year? Because they get the media attention. The spotlight's on them. When the spotlight was on Oregon, who has 50 million different uniform combinations talking about clicks. We feel some type of way.
I don't.
But guess what, Dan Lanny? Guess what happens in 2 weeks? And trust me, the media doesn't forget. You know what happens in 2 weeks? You and the Ducks go to Seattle.
Oh, and they're going to put a foot in their ass.
And guess what's going to happen if you lose that game?
Nothing, because they're not.
Okay, if you lose to the Washington Huskies, who actually look like a damn good team, because Michael Paxton Jr. is still rolling like he started rolling against Oregon last year.
And they're going to lose this year.
Do not lose to Washington in 2 weeks.
They won't.
Not only I will come back on this show and rip you again, but the media's going to get you again. Oh, remember that pregame what you did when you had to play against Colorado? You going for wins and not clicks?
Uh-huh.
How's that looking right now? Don't let
Pretty
that happen.
damn good.
Don't let that happen. And I picked Oregon to win the Pac-12.
Good. Stick with that pick.
Do not make me look foolish like you did last year. All this is want to go at Deion. You better go at everybody else for the rest of the goddamn season.
Oh, they will.
One slip up and you gonna hit people.
Nah, won't be necessary.
Oh yeah, it will.
No, it won't.
He should have never had that pregame taped and sent out.
Oh, sure he has. Sure he needed to.
Once you did that, you put a target on yourself now.
Good. And they're going to blow everybody out.
You better blow everybody. You better win everybody.
They're going to blow everybody. They're going to blow Washington to smithereens.
Oh, they said that last year, and they was at home.
I didn't say it last year. I'm saying it this year.
And they had the home field advantage, and it didn't work out.
So what are you saying, Playmaker?
So I'm saying when they take their butt to Seattle, Washington, to go against the Huskies, who actually is ranked higher than them.
Not for long.
You better talk to your past then. You better be rooted in substance then. You better be playing for wins then.
What?
Because if not,
what?
You're going to hear it from the media.
What?
You're going to hear it from me.
Like they always say, don't start nothing you can't finish.
What?
You started it. You damn well better finish it. Now get up and go handle business.
And on that note, we're going to get out of here. I got Mike Debate coming on a little later. Tomorrow night, you have that 49er show beginning at 9 p.m., where you will see and hear Mike Debate. I'll preview the Arizona Cardinals, which ain't going to be much of a preview. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that aloud? Let me get out of here. Let's get out of here. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they're simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope y'all are too. We're on Sexual Wednesday tomorrow. So long, everybody.